Hey, so today I want to talk about something that kind of, I don't know, kind of makes me a little angry in a way. But I wanted to talk, like, by the title, I don't really know how to title it, so I'm probably just going to say, like, endings I hate. And I want to talk about just endings. I hate endings to things like movies, shows, or games. Because there are endings, there's ending tropes that everyone knows. And sometimes there's ones that are just, like, annoying, right? And for some people, it's always different, like what some people hate. Like some people love certain endings, some people think that they're the best, right? There's like some types of endings where I'm just like, I fucking hate this. Like how shows, games, movies, anything ends in a specific way. And for me, like, I try to think, like, obviously there's like the trope of it was all a dream. That ending has not been done in a long time. Most movies don't do the, oh, it was all a dream ending. That hasn't happened in a long, long ass time. And yeah, it's a pretty stupid like ending because it's like, oh, what was the point of everything we just saw? Nothing. Right? But usually they always try to be like do that thing where it's like, oh, it was all a dream, but then the twist is it wasn't a dream and the monster is in the room with them and then they die. Whatever. But that's not really like because I haven't seen those endings in a long time, I think it's like a stupid ending, but it's not like one I hate, right? What I mean by ones I hate are ones that like genuinely frustrate me and just kind of make me really fucking annoyed. Because like a lot of the time people can argue that like endings where the main character dies. That's like one of those where it's like a bad ending. It's like an ending you hate. But I think that in that case, it's only like a really shitty ending when it's a stupid death. Like when the death is like, well, why the fuck would this character die? What was the purpose behind the character dying, right? Like, I think the best example of a show or anything that had a character dying that was a good ending was Breaking Bad. Walter's death, whether you wanted him to die or not, was good because Walter had to die. He had to die. He had no good option. His character needed to die. That's how the show had to end. And everyone knew it. And a lot of people, he's a bad character. You're not supposed to root for him, but nobody wanted him to die. But it was a good ending, and it was the fact that he did die was good. That was a good way to end it. But I've definitely seen endings where I'm like, well, what the fuck was the point of their death? Like, how is that a good ending? And so that's why I kind of say like the idea of like the main character dying ending uh is, I will say, it's definitely one that makes me angry in some cases. Like I've seen some horror movies where the main character dies for like no reason. Like they just like I know they're like trying to say like, oh, the villain was too much and they die, and it's like whatever. Like I don't know if you've ever seen Hatchet. There was a horror movie called Hatchet that had like, it actually had like a bunch of cameos from like some like popular horror movie actors, like Tony Todd, was that his name? I don't know if that was his name or his name in the movie. I don't remember. He played the Candyman. Had the guy who played Freddy Krueger. I can't think of his name for some reason. I don't know why. I can't. Some something. I can't remember his name. Who played Freddy Krueger? I can't remember for some reason. But anyway, the ending to Hatchet had, it was like, oh, the main character and the girl made it out alive, and everyone died, and you're like, oh, they survived. But then they didn't, and it was just like an ending where you're just like, well, what the fuck was the point? Like those characters could have survived, and you still could have made Hatchet too, because there's like four more Hatchets after that or something like that. But those characters didn't have to die; they could have lived. You could have just been like, oh, okay, they lived, and then Hatchet 2 happens, and then those characters have like no correlation to it. They're free. But no, they just die inexplicably. It was just like, and it was such a ham-fisted death too. Like it wasn't like, oh, I'm so emotionally attached. It was like playing like sad music. Oh, they're okay, but then just dead. Like no fanfare, nothing, just dead. And it was like, okay, well that was fucking stupid. And I try to think, I'm like looking at my games because I'm like thinking like, is there a game with an ending where the character dies and I'm just kind of like, that's fucking stupid. And hmm, like Dead Space 3 tried to like pull that where they're like, Isaac is dead, no, but then they had DLC where he wasn't dead and it was like, well, what was the fucking point? I also hate that, like ones where the character like dies but it's like a bait, right? Like, because like at that point, like you didn't need to fucking make them think they were dead. Like, just have them not die, or have them not seem to die. Like, what's the point? You're wasting my time. And it just doesn't work in some cases, because like in Dead Space 1, Dead Space 3 was like such a bad game that when Isaac died, it felt like a slap to the face. It wasn't like, it was like, you made me play this shitty Dead Space game that was a slap to the face of all the other good ones, and you killed Isaac, the beloved main character that everyone loves, and you kill him in such a shitty way. And it's like fuck you. Like, that's like, that ending to Dead Space 3 is like the biggest middle finger, because it's like you sit through that horrible ass Dead Space because it's the worst Dead Space game, just to be slapped in the face by watching Isaac die, only to find out, hey, pay for DLC, and guess what? Isaac won't be dead. Right? It's a shitty ending. And I've seen a lot of shitty endings. And I don't know. I think if there was an ending that bothers me the most, and it's not very common in like movies and TV shows, especially from America. I see it a lot in anime and Japanese based video games. It's a very big Japanese ending trope. Also, there's people screaming outside my house for some fucking reason. Don't know why. You know, it's not like other people live here or anything. Whatever. Anyway, one ending that I always see, and it happens a lot in, like I said, in anime and Japanese based games, are endings with characters who are close friends, who care about each other, they love each other. Together they're just like this great group of friends. They truly care about each other. They just couldn't imagine their lives without each other. And then the ending is them all just agreeing to go their separate ways and just be like, okay, well, it was fun. Bye. And then they just fuck off. And it's like, why? Why is that how you fucking end it? Like, I hate it. I have, like, there are, like, slice of life anime are the biggest culprits. If you watch a slice of life anime, it always ends with this group of friends that you love. You watch it, you watch their friendships grow, you love it, and you're just like, oh my god, I love these characters. I hope they stay friends forever. It's so cute and fun. And then it all ends with them just being like, hey, we had some good times. Bye. And then they fuck off. And it's like, that is the worst ending. Like, I'd rather have an ending where one of them fucking died, because that would at least be more reasonable. Because that would make at least sense, that they'd be like, oh, we lost our friend, how horrible. Compared to these people who are inseparable. They care about each other. They just want to help each other. They prop each other up. They mean so much to one another. It's such like a beautiful story of these characters coming together to create a unified, amazing thing. And it just ends with them just all being like, hey, you guys know that year, like couple of years of friendship where we built something amazing together? Yeah, me too. Anyway, bye. And then they just leave. Like, there's no like beautiful fanfare, there's no sad farewell. They all just decide, oh well, bye, and they fucking leave. It kind of reminds me of how like Friends ended, the sitcom Friends, where they all just kind of like split up and said fuck up, fuck it, bye, and then they just left each other, you know? But even like, I don't like Friends. I hate Friends. I'm gonna be honest. But even I can say that like a fucking American sitcom, or I think it was American. It might have been Canadian. I think it was American though. Friends had a better ending than most slice of lives, because at least there was some like emotional and life changing reason for the characters all splitting up. But in like slice of life, whenever they leave each other, it's so stupid. They don't, it's not because like, oh, something changed in their life, or they found like better like deals, they found like a better career, they did something better. No, they just up and decide, oh well, bye bye. And then they run off in a random direction, never to see one another again. Every fucking slice of life, almost every one of them ends that exact way, where the characters just decide, bye. And I cannot stand it. That is the ending that I hate the most. I despise endings that take established groups that are happy, they're strong together, they're such great characters, they have great chemistry, great everything, well written, they love each other, they prop each other up, they're such a great team and nothing can separate them. And then they separate themselves just for shits and giggles. Like nothing deep, nothing special. They just say fuck it and they walk away from each other. No fanfare, no deeper reason. They just decide, yeah, I'm tired of this, and then they walk away. It is the worst fucking ending. And the reason I say that is because those endings make me so mad because I hate when shows, games, movies, anything do so good to make this group of such lovable characters who all care about each other so much, and then they just decide, well, how do we end it? Like, you could just end it with them, I don't know, maybe like hitting the big time together, maybe doing something they always wanted to do together. But no, they always just like look at each other and they're like, hey, so I'm gonna go climb a mountain or something. And then another person's like, yeah, by the way, I'm gonna go dumpster diving. And then the other one's like, I'm gonna go be an actress. And then the other one's like, I'm gonna go hang myself in the closet. And then they all walk in a different direction and do nothing. That's it. Those endings suck so much ass. And the like one of the most recent ones I can fucking point a finger at, and I talked about this already. Persona 5. I love Persona 5. Persona 5 is such a fucking good game, but it does exactly what I said I hate. It does this thing where it makes a group of characters who I love. I love every fucking character in the group. I love this group. They put so much chemistry, so much life into this group. They're so good together. This world, the characters, they're so good. But how does it end? It ends with the main character being a fucking tool, and he decides, yeah, I'm gonna leave all that behind. My new father figure, my great home, the town full of people that love me, my girlfriend, my group of friends, everyone who cares about me, fuck that. I'm going to go home where my parents hate me and everyone in that town thinks I'm a criminal. Like that Persona 5 has one of the most kick to the balls ending because it is exactly what I hate, and that is a great group just deciding to disintegrate for shits and giggles. Because main character decides, yeah, I want to go back home to my family that hates me and people that villainized me. I don't want to stay with my great group of friends where we all get along, we talk to each other, we care about each other, we love each other, we would do anything for each other, we would die for one another, and I'm even dating one of them, and I'm in love with them, and I have a great father figure, and I have friends all over town, the teachers love me, everyone loves me. So I'm gonna go back home, uh, like super far away, like a 6 hour drive. Like we're gonna go on a 6 hour drive. I'm gonna go home. My parents are gonna yell at me. They hate me. And when I go to school, I'm immediately gonna get bullied, and I might even be driven to ending my own life. Like the ending makes me so goddamn mad because it's the exact ending that I hate in these slice of life animes of just, hey, what a great friendship. Anyway, bye. Like fuck you. Like actually fuck you. I don't know who the fuck comes up with these endings of destroying great characters and destroying great like groups, making you love this little group only to have the characters just say, okay, well, we're leaving with no understanding as to why. Like whoever the fuck came up with those types of endings should have been like blacklisted from fucking ever creating things, because that is the worst ending ever and I hate it. It makes me mad. When I talk about those types of endings, it makes me mad because it's like it's such an irrational ending. A character dying, fine, it makes sense. People die, it's gonna happen. If you love someone, they're gonna die. It's an understandable ending. Even the people watching or playing might not be happy about it, but it's rational. But I cannot fathom the idea of an ending where a group of people who love and care about each other so much just decide, hey, you guys want to like stop this friendship permanently? You guys like want to like stop talking to each other, never see each other again, cut all communications and walk off into the distance, never to see one another again? Like I hate it. I hate this ending so goddamn much because it makes it seem as if all those years of shit that you just watched or played meant nothing, and I could never imagine if this shit was real and I went through all this kind of shit with a group of people and we all cared about each other in that way, I would never want to cut ties with those fucking people. But these fucks just like literally have the greatest life you could possibly imagine, and they're just like, oh well, bye bye. Like, fuck that. I hate that ending. And that's just me ranting about the endings I hate. And I talk about, minor ones that I kind of just like get annoyed by, but that one is a full on, full body hatred where I'm just like, that is the dumbest fucking ending. And I know there's like probably like some form of rationalizing in it, but I don't care. It annoys me. Like, I refuse to see the rational side of it because it's just bullshit. It's just bullshit. So whatever. I don't know. This is me ranting about an end type of ending I hate and stuff. It's not very common in like Western media, but like I said, the closest I've seen is Friends, but at least that one had a logical fucking reason for why they split up rather than, oh, we're splitting up because fuck it. I don't know, whatever. I should just stop before I start ranting again. So yeah, I don't know, just endings I hate, and that ending in particular. So yeah, whatever.